SUV's velocity was 2.83 meters per second, and the wagon's velocity was 12 meters per second after the collision. This is because you use the kinematic equation v squared equals v naught squared plus 2a, the change in distance, to figure out the velocity. Then you plug in the variables you know and get these velocities.
Using the velocities found in the previous slide, you can find the SUV's velocity before the collision using momentum diagrams and equations. You plug in the velocities that were found, which were 2.83 meters per second and 12 meters per second, the velocities after the collision, and solve for v by multiplying and adding on both sides of the momentum equation to get 10.83 meters per second for the SUV and 0 meters per second for the wagon, which was given.
To determine the type of collision, you have to compare the kinetic energy of the SUV and wagon before the collision and after the collision using the equation kinetic energy equals 1/2 mv squared. And once you use this equation, you find out that before the collision, the kinetic energy is 175,933.35 joules, and after it is 156,013.35 joules. This means that the kinetic energy before is greater than after, which means energy is not conserved, making this collision inelastic.
Using the kinetic energies that were found in the slide before, you can make energy bar diagrams. None have potential energy because there is no height. Initial kinetic plus or minus the work has to equal the final kinetic.
The impulse graphs. The momentum of the wagon increases once it is hit by the SUV, and then it decreases once it comes to a stop again. The SUV loses momentum once it hits the wagon, and then gains that once it reaches the 2 meters. And in the system, there's no outside forces acting upon it, and momentum is always conserved in a collision, so that means the area under it is 0.
Using dimensional analysis, we converted the speed limit from 35 kilometers per hour to 9.72 meters per second. This means that the SUV was speeding because its velocity, 10.83 meters per second, was greater than the speed limit, which was 9.72 meters per second. This means that the driver broke the law of speeding. The driver of the SUV also could have been distracted by a cell phone or another item, and he could have been driving recklessly or failing to maintain their lane, which are all things that he could have broken to contribute to the car crash. The end.